Alrighty, everybody, we'll get started. My name is Monica Groves from the Adult Literacy XPRIZE, and you are here for Literation Lounge. Literation Lounge is a monthly speaker series supported by the Barbara Bush Foundation Adult Literacy XPRIZE. And the Literation Lounge features experts in the field of ed tech, adult education, as well as entrepreneurs who are really breaking ground on new ways to solve the world's literacy problem. And the audience for this is usually anyone in our ecosystem who's interested in adult ed, app development, is really pushing the needle forward on making sure that adults get the skills they need to better their lives and feel empowered and create a bright, awesome future for their children. And so today, for Literation Lounge, we have actually one of our Adult Literacy XPRIZE finalist teams, CELED. And the presentation today will be by Dr. Jessica Rothenberg-Aalami. And what she's going to talk about today is how you can call, text, and click your way into literacy, and how truly accessible mobile learning can teach the hardest to reach. To give you more information about CELED, Jessica will share CELED's model for micro-learning and leads to macro success for our learners in the fraction of time that traditional classrooms with higher engagement rates than brand name learning apps. With CELED real-world content, adults not only gain the skills they need to secure jobs, but also to navigate everything from parent-teacher conferences to their health care. Their personalized learning solution is delivered on any mobile device, even flip phones without the internet. And it's being used by education providers, employers, and by international development organizations to close those most persistent skills gaps for the hardest to reach working adults. Jessica is the CEO and founder of CELED, a complete mobile solution to reach, teach, and upskill today's low-literate workforce. A Silicon Valley native and entrepreneur for over 20 years, Jessica has co-designed and delivered technology solutions that bridge education, digital, and opportunity divides in more than 40 countries. Her expertise spans work with the major technology companies such as Microsoft, Hewlett-Packard, etc., and international organizations, governments, and umbrella NGOs, and on-the-ground partners. As an active collaborator and speaker, Rothenberg-Aalami is the co-author of Technology at the Margin, where it holds advanced degrees in international development, business, and ICT design from UC Berkeley and the University of Oregon and Harvard. So without further ado, I'll turn this session over to Jessica to let you guys know how to close the skills gap over any mobile app. Take it away.
Thank you, Monica. I'd love to start with some gratitude to the XPRIZE for hosting the series. Without the XPRIZE highlighting this silent epidemic, so many adult learners lacking basic and the next pathways to literacy, we wouldn't be here. And we're also thankful to be one of the 5 finalists for the Adult Literacy Prize, but among many great other efforts to try and shed a light on a problem we can solve together. I'd also like to take a moment. I'm representing one of over 20 members of a team at CELED. They're teachers and mobile learning experts who are passionate about working at listening and learning and delivering on this gaping need. So on behalf of them, I would like to thank them for being part of this team as well. And on that note, why are we here? Okay, let's see if I can change my, there we go. We're actually here because over 100 million learning adults lack the skills they need, not only to navigate daily life, but to succeed on the job and to get the jobs they need, and over 2 billion worldwide. And as you know, 1 in 6 are functionally illiterate. 1 in 4 are lacking some of those other ramps and additional skills needed to succeed on the job. And we know that literally less than 11% can get to a class or get the teaching and access they need. And 1 in 3 do not have the internet. So given these gaping challenges, how are we going to reach them? Well, we know most people do have a mobile device. And that's the reason why CELED delivers short lessons over any mobile device in real time and access to a coach and others to reach them. But we started first by asking a question. Can we teach the hardest to reach via mobile device that they have in their hands? In this case, non-literate adults in their first language. And we did that by delivering not only two-way texting and access to calling and texting with a coach, but audio, sound situations, real-life teachers talking about life, how to navigate everyday situations, and even classroom instruction all over the phone in 3-minute or less bites. And what we did is we tested that for a couple of years in 2012, and we were able to prove the case and taught a non-literate Spanish-speaking adults how to read in 44 hours in less than 4 months with access to 24/7 learning. And today, flashing forward and with some learning, etc., and partnering, we have now offered a complete mobile solution to reach, retain, and upskill today's workforce. What's important to note here is that it's really designed to deliver essential skills to the palm of your hand. A teacher in your pocket, a coach in your pocket, a trainer in your pocket, if you will, and this two-way communication in order to really bridge the most gaping skills gap facing our learners. We also offer an option not to need the internet. So what we include now is what we call mobile first skills as a platform. And with this, we offer the ability to first teach the fundamentals, those key pieces that have been missed if you haven't been in a classroom receiving formal, informal, or non-formal education to get the reading and writing and other essential skills needs. We also deliver it all in these micro lessons, and I'll explain why. We also engage with two-way texting with a live and automated coach in order to personalize the learning and to target where the challenges have been faced by that learner for themselves. Again, we're learner-centered and driven by the needs they face. And then we have this data dashboard and tracking and communication system that help our partners, both education providers and employers, understand the needs of their learners, of their frontline workforce, perhaps that they've never reached before. And right down to the lesson level and the text level and even the coaching notes, we can better understand both the needs, but also upskill and continue to respond to those needs. We offer a full course catalog that bridges basic adult literacy programs, language learning, especially English language learning, both bilingual and all English programs, math skills, we have work readiness programs, and then we have on-the-job and even certificate programs. This is very important to our story. This is such a daunting problem to solve, reaching non-literate and low-literate adults and providing them a pathway to driving their own learning, that we started with research and evidence-based learning, and that's how we continue to improve both our platform and service and even our curriculum development. So we are actively engaging with third-party studies. We started with the randomized control trial for 2 years before launching our product and service with UCLA, Oxford, and Tufts University. And what was key to that learning is that the next third-party study pushed also our learning, and every time we get the feedback from both our learners and our partners, and really as technology develops, we're able to iterate and improve. So maybe last month, if you're trying CELED, a course, or even the platform, you'll see improvements, and we're continually doing that as we go. We also found that in comparison to other online learning or apps around especially skill building, that we have a higher engagement and completion rates, and we argue the reasons for that is that we provide this 24/7 access for a learner that has a mobile device, any mobile device, and it's self-directed. It needs to be driven by the needs of that learner in real life. Where are they at? When do they have that time? In the in-between moments of their day, can they access at 3 minutes and even 10 minutes at a time the learning that they need that's very, again, based in real life? High context, the skills that are needed, and the bridges that are needed to face both their confidence challenges, their communication challenges, and actually tactical skill challenges they may have. Key to ours is this argument that nobody has time. If people can't get to a 30-minute or 1-hour online or in-person class because of transportation, childcare, and other challenges, but they can access and do a concrete skill in 3 minutes. And if we stack those, we find that people are able to reach their goals a little quicker. Two-way communication, we learn from each other. Our coaches and our teachers and our tech and content teams are responding to the feedback they get in real time from the learners on our system. And we also learn up front what their needs and goals are through both surveys and assessments. And the live coach, the live touch is needed, especially for some of the gaping gaps for folks, whether that's confidence, the sense of shame, they've never experienced success potentially in a classroom, or right before they go in for a job interview, or before an assessment, or other points in the puzzle, we will be reaching out, or they will reach out and on demand. Engagement, this is key too. We found that our folks are on the system longer than the 90 days, and even for longer than a year for a few different reasons. And 10 minutes is equivalent to an hour of foundational skills training. That's what we proved with our first couple of studies. And you get this 3 concrete skills, but you're also getting pulled in a sense. A friendly reminder that comes to you, for example, a check-in by your coach, a sense that there is some extrinsic motivation that complements intrinsic motivation you may have to finally get that pathway to a GED you never had, or an ability to communicate with folks on the job or in life, writing, as you heard from Monica, a note to the teacher with confidence, or communicating in the clinic with ease. So our essential skills. We were built with this idea that if people don't have time, they don't have access to classrooms, and they do not necessarily want to go through a book understanding of the world, but want to experience it as they're experiencing it in daily life. What are those essential skills that have been missing? Reading, obviously, you've seen the literacy stats, includes also writing, maths, document use, ability to navigate the internet, digital literacy, oral communication, critical thinking skills, team working, this drive to keep learning and pushing. That's part of what we build into each one of our courses. They average about 20 hours in length, and as short as 5 hours. We call those micro courses. So in skills that you need to both learn and for work and for life, we believe that that can be also customized and contextualized for populations served. It is not a one-size-fits-all model. We also talked about the skills. So we have so many work-related skills that folks are lacking. Employers are reporting 80 to 90% of high school graduates are not job ready. Well, that's facing most of our workforce as well, adults. And with our low level of unemployment today, it's getting even more difficult to fill those spots. So how can we bridge those gaps quickly in these essential skills areas, but also on the job and vocational tracks? Well, all of that is rooted in a strong base of literacy. And these pathway programs, again, bridging the literacy and other gaps to a pathway, and is also enabling careers that people wouldn't have imagined before. One exciting area we're doing right now is actually going from non-literate adult at a 0 level of literacy, providing for the first time a pathway. If you call in the steps that you would need to become digital literate enough to surf the web and download an app, that unleashes a whole other world that wasn't available for those folks in the past. And we have an ability to customize. This is important because complementing our off-the-shelf bridge courses is this idea that these incredible organizations have wait lists and content that may not be reaching our user base, often because it's written at a level of high school or above, too high a level for our learners to attain. So we both condense the material down to micro lessons, translate it at a lower readability level to provide a pathway, and then offer that at scale. And we can do that across health, other services, and again, for other services that are needed. Universal access is key for us to talk about too. In the United States, many people say people have a smartphone or smartphones that have internet access, but not all do. And that's important to the story, because even when they do have a smartphone, 82% of our learners still call in. This signals to us either a preference for being able to call in for ease and also a signal of a digital divide. Some other fundamental barriers here that we want to bridge. And 98% of people open their texts if they have a mobile phone. So we believe a mobile pathway, a messaging platform is a pathway to reach them. So for a learner, you simply call in or open the app on any mobile device if you have access. And then you complete a survey, a little bit to get to know you, more about your interest areas. We then do an automated assessment that places the learners in a set of courses that they're ready for and the right coach, the live coach that they're paired with through the time they're on CELED. And then these interactive lessons they can access anytime. And they can switch between courses if they would like and repeat and then obtain a certificate in that way. And then two-way messaging is how we continue to talk about not only the course, but also about life. And then learner feedback. So what we've gotten to date, we've trained over 20,000. We will aim to reach millions more. We'll talk a little bit about that at the end. But what we're hearing is that it's a little different. It's surprising that you can call and listen to live people telling you real things or sound situations. It's so easy to use, we hear often for some. And they love that it's real practice for the daily skills that they need. I tried other apps and they were okay, but CELED is simply marvelous. The explanations are so clear. Again, designed really for what she is doing on the job. And with CELED, I learned to read. I feel liberated. This has changed my life. Now for the partners, you need a tracking system to continue to engage and provide access for the learning workforce. So that's where we provide the data dashboard and more. And for that on-demand need, some of the partners are saying this simplicity in the technology is what's reaching those are hardest to reach in the state of New York in this case, but it also reaches everyone, regardless of age, resource, and any technological level of literacy. For those in the workspace, they consider CELED a catalyst to help move them forward, this frontline workforce that has been ignored to date. We have partnerships. Our model is to scale to unlimited need. Again, we can reach any mobile device from a simple phone to a smartphone, bridging rural and other divides that are often very daunting. So our partnerships are with those folks who have a large number to reach to provide these essential skills. Again, aiming to perhaps alleviate poverty, to provide access to healthcare and education to those who have not, and to get folks ready for the job that have not been, or who are on the job and tend to leave because they're not gaining the skills. So we partner with states, libraries, and employers at scale. We have over 40 strategic partners, some serving millions of learners, and we will continue to grow to meet the need. On the key takeaway side, in my last minute, we just want to make the argument that mobile first is essential to reaching folks who will simply never have access to a teacher, a trainer, an on-the-job course, or going to an adult school. It's just too difficult for most to reach the resources. We also argue that learner-centered, listening to the learner, seeing what their needs are, does meet the gaps quicker, and then providing them the national standard materials, others, will also give them the pathway to a certificate. So we can be a bridge at meeting both those needs. Two-way is essential. It does not need to be top-down. We can learn from each other. Iterative is important because we're always needing to respond to the needs in real time, to what our learners are experiencing in life and at work, and our employers and our education providers as well. Responsive, making sure it's contextualized, tailored to unique user populations. It actually then meets the needs of millions, and I think this is counterintuitive. Tailoring right down to the level of the learner is possible in little bits through a personal coach, but at larger scale, we can design curriculum to serve large populations as well. Skills-based, inherently we need to teach practical skills to navigate daily life. And non-digital, please do provide a non-digital option if you can. It's a way to really reach those who don't have access to the internet and other ways of getting information. Oh, and with that, I hope you join us We love to offer free trials and other live demos of CELED and how it works, and other real life examples, especially hearing from our learners and partners themselves. So please do contact info@celed.com. And then I look forward to your questions.
All right, Jessica, thank you so much. As you guys see, I've had to change location.
Oh.
That comes noisy. Thank you guys so much for joining us and for listening. At this point, you can ask questions. So there's a chat box. So you can put questions in. We'll be able to fill those questions about CELED, the great things they're doing, and the gains that they're seeing with the use of their app. Okay, we have one question already. The question is, can you describe the non-literate learner part of the program?
Oh, sure. We started actually by solidifying, we call it, so converting and condensing content from a community-based organization called Centro Latino Literacy. They have a program called Vamos a Leer. And we took that online program, converted it, condensed it, used the voice of a teacher from the program, and then we tested it that way. So it's literally for non-literate adult learners. And then we expanded the program for other first languages.
Thank you for that. Do we have any other questions? I can start with one. I know you said that you have a version of your app for flip phones. Do you have a large number of people who still use that version of the app? Is there a difference in the success rates from those who use the flip phone or text version as opposed to those who have the full-on smartphone version?
No, it's a great question. We have designed it so that a learner can call in if they want, or shift back to the app or online. So meeting wherever they're at. So we see that there is about, I would say, not more than 10% who are shifting between the call-in and the app or other online options. We're finding still that 79% as of yesterday are still calling in more than they do. But again, we launched our apps thanks again to the encouragement of the XPRIZE. We launched it in July of 2017. So we've had our call-in option out there since 2014.
Okay. We do have another question. The question is, how does onboarding your program work within a workplace?
Traditionally, we'll partner with an employer or a trainer of frontline workers. They will provide their own onboarding. It can be as easy as we do onboarding of the staff in a training session. We have materials and packets ready, and then they have a choice to offer their workers the app or all options, and that can be done in a variety of ways.
Okay. Thank you. Sure. All right, guys, I know we still have some burning questions, so if you do have a question, please do type it in the chat box and that we can. In regard to CELED, their programs, their take and their strategy on how they tackle the issue, type questions you have in the chat box and fill those questions, find an answer for you. So let's play the Jeopardy time. Okay, another question. What types of custom content have your partners requested?
Yeah, we started with long-term home care workers needing some vocational English language learning on the job, safety training, and others. Then we have in hospitality, actually communicating for cleaning staff, stewards, etc. We've done some of that. We've also done onboarding for the job. So some cases, even how you would be filling in application material. We've done that as well. And then we continue to work with our employers to offer the upskilling. So if they're going through and getting through a series of these, let's say, CELED courses, and they can take 2 more, can they suddenly become trained as a certified interpreter if they're working in a home, in a hospital system? If they're working on the job, can they go to the front desk from the back room? So we continue to develop those pathway programs. And we are in partnership with large-scale assessment providers and content providers to provide additional direct pathways and preparatory materials that have been converted for both HiSET and GED testing, 2-year degree programs, and other certificate that are aligned very much with specific industries. I'm happy to share our course catalog. If you're interested, just reach out.
And hopefully that answers your question. In regard to the course catalog, we're open to sharing that. That's something that we can help you facilitate to get to those who register for this Literation Lounge session, or how would you prefer people get that information?
Sure. Do you want me to send that and make it available? That's absolutely what would be the fastest way.
And what I usually do here is within 24 hours of the session, we post on YouTube, and we also send an email out to all the registrants of Literation Lounge. Okay. And so that I can do a link.
Great.
Course catalog if you'd like, along with that, hey, video is up, you can go and watch it if you
all right. That sounds great.
So I can make that my action item, what I add to the email.
Thank you. That sounds great.
No problem. So guys who are on the line, stay tuned. We'll receive an email within 24 hours with the link to today's recording of the third session, as well as a link to the course catalog for the seller. All right, in our final 2 minutes, are there any other burning questions? Let's give it a little time.
Look at us. We made it in time, Monica.
I know. We did really well.
So impressive.
All righty, guys. Well, it's looking like we don't have any other questions coming in.
Thank you for your attention, everyone. Appreciate it.
Yeah. And there was one chat message that says, thank you, guys. But what I'll do to wrap up, what we're doing right now with the Adult Literacy XPRIZE is, if you were on early, we were chatting about this before we started the official session. But the Adult Literacy XPRIZE Communities Competition is what we're currently working on as part of the impact in being able to get adult literacy apps for adults who read at the 4th grade level out to as many adults as possible to increase their basic adult literacy skills. So we have launched the Adult Literacy XPRIZE Communities Competition. If you give me a second, I will get a slide up. And so the Communities Competition is all about increasing literacy and transforming lives through literacy for adults. We have $1 million from our gracious sponsors for the Barbara Bush Foundation and the Dollar General Literacy Foundation to give to the community, just any individual or entity in the United States, to help us get those adult literacy apps out to as many adult learners as possible. So we'd love for you guys to be able to join us and to also want to be a part of the communities competition and compete to win your share of $1 million. So I will share my screen in just a second. All right, so this is where you go to learn more about the communities competition. Communities.xprize.org. Here you can read more about the competition, the phases, how you can win your share of $1 million, and what really constitutes being able to compete. It's 100% free as a community member to compete, to win the monies, and distribute the free adult literacy apps in your community. So if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us at adults.literacy@xprize.org for more information. We can also clue you in when there's opportunities or webinars to give you general information about the community competition if you're interested, or if some organization in your area works within this area and is interested in expanding access or starting an adult literacy basic education program in your area where you currently don't have any way to service them. And so hopefully you guys will be able to join us. We'll have our next Literary Lounge session next Tuesday, October the 16th at 7 a.m. And we'll have another Adult Literacy XPRIZE finalist presenting. We will have Dana Rosier of Autocognitive presenting on how to create a literacy app from idea to product. So I'll send out more information about this. You can register and really get more information about the ins and outs of what it takes to go from the actual idea to complete and having a really viable, great, functioning, and valuable app for adult learners in your area. So with that, I would like to thank you guys so much for joining us for this session of Literation Lounge. Thank you, Jessica, so much for coming on, telling us more about spell ed, sharing your expertise, and being an all-around amazing person who's really doing the work to really eradicate low literacy here in the U.S. So with that, I'll conclude. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and stay tuned for details and that course catalog for spell ed within 24 hours. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Thank you so much, everyone.
All righty, bye-bye.
Bye.